Previously on State of Energy. We follow Emily as she explored the first oil discovery in Miri, a moment that transformed Sarawak's energy industry. Next, Emily visited the border town of Limbang. In the third episode, she went through the tough health and safety training required for offshore work. The boys had a chance to visit not one, but two platforms, F6 and Baronia, learning about the upstream processes that power Sarawak's energy industry. Emily was also empowered by the stories from Sarawakians working in the energy sector. They spoke about the challenges of balancing their high-risk jobs with family life. Additionally, she explored how the energy industry has impacted communities across Sarawak. From the remote village of Barial, where she saw the benefits of the Shell Scholarship Program in developing local talent, to the health clinic in Long Loyang, completely powered by solar hydrogen technology far from the main grid. Welcome back to State of Energy. In this episode, Emily explores the energy ecosystem of a self-sustaining Sarawak, taking us to Mukah, where the cottage industry plays a vital role in the local economy. She'll also examine how Sarawak's commitment to sustainability extends from traditional practices to future-focused energy efficiency. Next, Emily gives us an insight into a lesser-known aspect of the oil and gas industry, the metering takeoff station, operated by Sarawak's own oil and gas regulator, Petroleum Sarawak Berhad. But first, let's join Emily as she checks out Mukah's cottage industry.
Our beloved director has been complaining that my intros are a little bit still, so let's bring some life into it. Did you know the world's largest sago flour producer is actually right here in Sarawak? To be a little more specific, it's in the Dalat district of Mukah. With a population of about 135,000, Mukah's major ethnic group is the Melanau communities, whose way of life very much revolves around the sago and fishing industries. So Mukah is mainly known for its three main rivers, Batang Mukah, Batang Oya, and Batang Igan, along which water transportation is still very much practiced by the community in the area. Before we do some exploring, let's try out some local delicacies here that is very similar to sashimi, and it's called umai. Pakcik, ambil todo ige? Dengan sambalnya sekali. I've been looking forward to this part the whole trip. So this is actually sago, okay? And this is kind of like the main source of carbs in a Melanau diet. They actually don't eat rice here. They only started having rice in their diet, and that's very rarely in the 1920s. So this right here, this is called umai. It's kind of like the local sashimi. It's actually very similar to the Mexican ceviche. And this right here is called tabalo, I believe, which is also made from sago. So let's dive in. I'm really excited to try this out, especially this, because this is my favorite.
Mukah, a coastal town nestled within its own division, thrums to the rhythm of the sea. Rich in tradition and deeply rooted in Melanau heritage, Mukah's artisans breathe life into a thriving cottage industry where history and creativity merge seamlessly. With each sunrise, Mukah's markets spring to life, becoming a vibrant hub where locals and visitors gather. The aroma of freshly prepared traditional foods mingles with the melodies of Melanau, Malay, Chinese, and other local dialects. Here, artisans carry on their ancestral craft, transforming natural materials into timeless creations.
Hi, thank you so much for meeting us today. It's so lovely to meet you, especially by the seaside. We can actually hear the shore. Would you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about how long you and your family have been in Mukah?
Okay, my name is Diana Rose, and I'm a Melanau, born in Talian. I'm a graduate of Mass Comm. I majored in journalism. I was a journalist for quite a long time. And then after that, I set up Lamin Dana, which is more like an ideal or to express my idealism of conservation and preservation of Melanau culture, which I was very fascinated with my 7 years good life growing up in the area. And I built that 23 years ago. That made me, they call me a cultural activist, yeah. And then along the way, I started Batik Linot, which we experimented in 2019. And this is Sarawak's first method of, designing patterns, textile on our own, instead of borrowing from Kelantan and Terengganu or Indonesia for that matter. And because I'm a Melanau, there again I use Sego as the main vehicle to do that. And we stabilized the production in 2021, and it was launched in Miri by our premier then. Our current premier, 2021. So we are in the market about a year now, yeah. And that makes me an entrepreneur.
So can you tell us more about Batik Linot? Where did the name come from, and what does the product mean to the community in Mukah?
Well, basically, when Craft Tangan Malaysia approached me, you see, technically, I'm not a kind of person who goes into fashion or dressing or anything like that, no. But when they approached me, they said they want to create a new batik community in Sarawak, and they have chosen Mukah, and they have chosen me to spearhead it with them. Because it's a new method, they also don't really, we are going together in terms of experimentation. So I agreed, but initially they asked me to do with sago flour, tapioca flour. And I told them, if you ask me to do with tapioca, I don't think I can sustain it. I eat tapioca, but I'm not passionate about it. So I suggested we do sago. And when we do sago, and I told them that I don't like the idea of batik sagu or batik kanji, because it's starch. So then I was thinking, when I look at the concoction, it looks like linut we eat, the one that we eat, or in for the Bruneian, they call it ambuyat. So I said, I prefer to call it batik linut. That's how the name came about. And it sounds nice also, and exotic.
Yeah, it's a catchy tune to it. How reliant would you say the people of Mukah are on power and fuel to, carry out what they do for a living?
Well, in the past, all our life were fueled basically by timber. Yeah, we use a lot of timber, and then the sago bark, which I said we don't waste it. Either we make it into temporary wooden flooring, or we can use it as a fuel to power our baking, our making of our staple food. Even today, we still use it because, for example, for sago, no matter how modern our life, it will not be right using electricity. We still need to use clay oven, and using fueled by wood, timber, actually.
It's all about the char and the flavor. So, was power and fuel always accessible to people in Mukah? Was it ever an issue, and if so, how were they overcome?
Well, it's quite a general. For example, if you say power and fuel, if you say timber, we have no problem with that. We have a lot of sago bark tree to process our life. But then, when electricity comes in the 1970s, our life changed a lot because now it's easier, less messy. Yeah, we don't have to go and cut trees, and we don't have to debug so much of our sago bark to burn it for fuel. Now we use electricity. But then to balance up our livelihood, we still retain the traditional fuel source, and we also use electricity to power our life, in a sense that now we can use electric oven to bake more. to make more food apart from sago pellets, you see. But we can make cakes. We can even now the sago biscuit they use the oven. Of course, the taste is a bit different. But for people who never tasted tabaloi or sago biscuit, it tastes nice. But for the Melanau people, we know that it's not. It has not reached the level where we use the timber, the wood fuel. But nevertheless, I think generally electricity has improved a lot of our lifestyle. Now we can connect, we can use electricity to do our banking, computer, WhatsApp, you know, and a lot of kampung people, or I don't know about other areas in Mukah, but in Talian, in Igan, in Dalat, a lot of people now sells using WhatsApp. So that is very, how to say, very important to us compared to in the past. Connectivity in terms of communication has improved our life a lot. That is the good side of it. The bad side, of course, we have the bad sides. Gossip spreads very fast as well.
So, in an instance where, you know, power cut and, you know, fuel supply is cut off, how would you say that would affect the lives of the people in Mukah?
General living lifestyle daily, it will not. It will affect them to a point because now they're so used to have electricity power their fans, their aircon, their oven. But then we always, generally the Melanau people, we always have the what they call the old traditional kitchen. Yeah, every household will have one. So in that sense, it will affect generally the what do you call it, the comfort of life, but we not go hungry because we still can cook our food.
Wow, I guess that's the benefits of, you know, really preserving the traditional way of life for times where the modern way of life can't keep up, you know, or it fails to show up sometimes. But what makes you grateful to be someone who was born and can proudly say that you're from Mukah? And what do you hope will improve in the livelihood of people in Mukah?
What I'm proud of, because I am very proud of being one of the ancient people, you know, who has been exposed to the ups and downs of the history of the region, and that shaped the community. Maybe if you look physically, you don't notice it, but it does affect in our mindset. Our surviving mindset, the way we tackle our environment and challenges, that comes with civilization. And how we bring ourselves with our neighbors, that also comes from civilization. Because we know what it means to be united, we know what it means to fight, and we know what it means to survive. That is something I'm very proud because of our long history. Now, our hope, as I told you, when I grew up in Mukah, we were cut off. And then now we are connected. Maybe not 100% very good roads, but at least it's a road. You know, now we can go within 2 hours to Bintulu. We can go 6 hours to Kuching, Cebu 3 hours to Miri 5 hours. I mean, to people outside, it sounds like a darn long way, right, man? But then for us who has been isolated and disconnected from one another, that is something that we are grateful for. Of course, now we are hoping to have a better connectivity. Now we have a big, nice airport in Mukah, but still a small plane landing. So we hope to have a bigger plane landing, not one day, one flight for ATR, maybe 3 flights of ATR, no more Twin Otter, something like that. You know, that is a hope that we have. And of course, the whole people in Sarawak now, we are so excited about 4G, 5G. We hope that it will reach our place soon, you know, with good connectivity. Not like some kampung we cannot call, some kampung we can, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's our hope also, with good communication connectivity. And with that, with good road logistic, with good communication, we can improve our business. We can reach out. There's no, for example, Batik Linut, people ask me why you don't make your headquarters in Mukah. Basically because of connectivity. Yeah, we need a place whereby at least the logistic is not too high. And I've chosen Miri because of the location, the strategic location. We are only about half an hour from Brunei. We are also very near. We are only about 40 minutes away from Kota Kinabalu. And we can use the road to send all our barang out to all over Borneo. Meaning we can send it to Kuching, to Cebu, and perhaps one day we can send our barang to Indonesia, in the Kalimantan side, all by road because we are connected by road. So that is the thing. So if you want, in terms of our hope for Mukah, we want to be more connected, not to be like a bypass. A bypass means that logistic-wise is going to be very expensive for us. For example, if I want to go and get my resources, my textile to Mukah, it will be more expensive. If I send it to Miri, and then for Miri I send by bus to Mukah, it's cheaper. You see, that's the reason why. If I go direct to Mukah, the cost of transportation is more than the cost of the material. As an entrepreneur, of course, we look at that. And power, communication, logistic is the main criteria to determine the cost of the product.
Well, we thank you so much for your time today, Madam Diana. It was lovely meeting you, and we wish you all the best with your brand Batik Linut. We look forward to seeing it grow in Sarawak and hopefully beyond the borders of Sarawak.
Yes, that's my hope too.
We hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emily.
In Mukah, the cottage industry is a link between past and future, with community centres serving as sanctuaries of tradition and learning. Elders teach the younger generation to weave, carve and cook with deep respect, keeping Mukah's cultural identity alive. As modern technology opens new avenues, Mukah's cottage industry reaches a wider audience, allowing tradition to thrive on a larger scale. Alive with heritage, Mukah's cottage industry stands as a testament to resilience and adaptability, blending age-old traditions with new possibilities to shape a dynamic future, preserving the essence of the past while embracing the possibilities of the future.
Hi, Pangeran. Thank you so much for making the time for talking to us here today. I understand you're a very busy man. Can you quickly introduce a little bit about yourself and what you do here in Petros?
Thanks for coming, Emily. So basically, I am the operation engineer for the downstream Bintulu and Miri gas operation. So basically, we are doing operation and maintenance for our takeoff station, or what we call receiving facilities, before we process the dry gas to deliver to our customer.
So to put it into layman terms, untuk orang nak tahu pun apa guna station kita tu, can you tell us the purpose of a processing plant like this?
Petros takeoff station in Bintulu, or what we call TOS, is basically a district gate station. So this is a place where we receive the gas from our main facilities, Bintulu integrated facilities from BIF, and then we will process the gas, filter it, we regulate the pressure, and we heat the gas before we send the gas to the customer. So basically it's a cleaning process before we deliver to the customer.
So what's the coverage area for this specific processing plant?
So for Bintulu Petros takeoff station, we have 5 kilometers of underground buried pipeline, and we're supplying to all our industrial customers in the Kidurong area.
So where does the gas come in?
So we receive our gas from Bintulu integrated facilities.
Okay.
As you can see, we receive from the 4-inch piping. That is the 4-inch piping over there, and then so the gas will go through the regulating skid. As you can see, we have 2 runs for each regulating skid, which is 1 run is for standby and 1 run is on duty. So one regulating skid will consist of two regulators. So we call it monitor and active pressure regulator. So after you went through this gas regulating skid, it will go through our filtering skid over here. So if you can see, for regulating skid, we also have two run for each filtering skid. So one filter is on duty and another one is on standby lah. As you can see. So whenever we receive a lot of condensate, then we will reroute it back to our supplier because we don't keep any condensate here lah. Okay. So now we are going to the water bath heater skid. So this is the process where we heat our gas up to the certain temperature before we deliver to our customer lah. We need to deliver a dry, clean and reliable gas lah to our customer. Yeah. So one heater is on standby and another one is on duty, as you can see. So once the gas is heated up, then it will go through our outlet. If you can see here, our outlet consists of 12-inch pipeline all the way to our customer.
I see. So the people you supply to, are they mostly like for household use, or is it?
Yeah, for Bintulu customer, especially in Kidurong area, we supply to all the industrial customer, the oil palm industries and all the factories. So there is a plan for the future expansion for Bintulu where we will also supply to residential and commercial customer. Yeah.
I see. So there seems to be like a set of everything for all the stations. I'm guessing the other one on standby will be for maintenance?
Yes, you are correct. So whenever we do a run switching every 6 months, we have to do our maintenance accordingly. So hence we need the 2 runs for each skid. Yeah.
So does this station produce any waste? And if so, like where does that waste go?
So this station actually, we receive also dry gas from our supplier, but during our step-down process from the regulating skid, you will see a condensate from the piping because we step down from 55 bar pressure to a 33 bar of regulated pressure. So that process causes the pipeline to condensate, and it will, it will bring some liquid condensate into the piping. So we need to eliminate the liquid condensate from the filtering skid, and then we have to stabilize it using our heater. So once the condensate is stabilized, we will reroute it back to the supplier, and we will ensure only clean gas is supplied to our customer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very simple 3-step process, but also very intricate and delicate.
You are correct.
Okay, so what's this thing over here? This green rectangle.
So this green rectangle flooring area, as you can see, is for our...
I can step on it, right?
Yes, you can step on it. Yeah. So this is the part where we will utilize this area to ensure can roll the pig, the pigging process for the pipeline.
Okay.
So this is what we call a launcher.
Oh, okay.
Scraper launcher. So this is connected to our pipeline all the way to our last customer in Kidurong. So we are able to clean our pipe using a pigging method. So a pigging method is essentially where you insert few mechanical or foam pigs into this launcher, and you will launch it by a pressure all the way to the pipeline, and we will have another team to receive it at the end of the receiver. So this green area is the part where you can put your roller with the pigs to the launcher. Yeah.
So underground, what's going on underground?
So underground, we have 12-inch pipeline to the customer, and we have 4-inch branch out pipeline for a different set of customers. So the mainline is 12-inch, and the branch out to the customer is 4-inch pipeline. Yeah.
What are some of the safety measures that we have to take before going into the plant?
So for the safety measure, that the person should be able to understand the risk and hazard that are available in the processing facilities, such as highly flammable gas and potentially explosive environment. So these are the one that we highly emphasize on the safety, which we require most of the visitors or any personnel to enter the area to use a full personal protective equipment, PPE, and always be aware of the alarms and highly working closely with the facilities owner and all the relevant authorities to understand where is the escape location whenever there's any incident arises. For Bintulu petrol stack-off station, we currently supplying to all the industrial customer in Bintulu, and we are looking forward in our domestic gas expansion program that we will also supplying to the residential and commercial customer as well.
How do they, keep in line with safety protocols and ensuring that gas-related incidents don't happen?
So for our customers, basically when they are consuming our gas, we always integrate the same aspect of scheduled maintenance even for our customers. So we will do maintenance for the metering station, for the buried pipeline, and for the customer end, we will always ask them to always inspect their gas detector system to improve on their alarms in case of any emergency.
So what's the area coverage for this specific processing plant?
So from takeoff station, we deliver the gas from our 6 kilometer of pipeline to all the industrial customer in Kidurong area in Bintulu. So for the volume output, the daily output is around 5 million scarf per day. Yeah. So it's maybe equivalent to 30 LPG tonnes per day. Yeah.
And this plant runs 24 hours a day, right?
24 hours per day, non-stop.
Thank you so much, Pangeran, for the insight and for the knowledge that you've shared with us today. Thank you definitely for your time. We hope to see you again and wish you all the best with your endeavors here at Petros.
Thank you. Thank you, Emily, for coming.
So what does it take to manage a team of energy heroes? Well, today in this segment, we're swinging by Menara Sarawak Energy to have a chit-chat with our Group CEO, Dato' Syarbini Suhaili, to find out those answers. Let's go. Hi, Dato'. Thank you so much for your time today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at Sarawak Energy Berhad?
Thank you. I'm Dato' Syarbini Suhaili. I'm the Group Chief Executive Officer of Sarawak Energy Berhad. I was actually born here in Kuching, but spent most of my childhood and early education in the oil town of Miri, where my dad was working for Shell at that time. I then further my studies in the UK on a Shell scholarship, studying mechanical engineering. And upon graduation, I came back and worked in Sarawak with Sarawak Shell, Berhad, and based in Miri. And that's how my career in the energy industry started.
Can you walk us through a little bit more detail of like the journey from where you started to where you're seated here today?
So yeah, I joined Sarawak Energy in 2016. And prior to that, I spent about 30 years working in the petroleum industry in two of the global giants, which is Petronas and the Shell group of companies. I started my career in Shell as an engineer and spent about 5 years of the early part of my career working in the Shell head office in The Hague, Holland. And then I came back to Sarawak working on mainly strategic, commercial and asset leadership roles before I joined Petronas in 2010. And I was in Petronas for about 6 years, mainly as the Vice President of Upstream International, so looking after Petronas Upstream International business, in more than 25 countries. So we were working with more than 50 international partners in many countries, and so I was spending most of my time there at the airport, in the plane, or in foreign countries. Yeah. So it was quite a bit of a challenge on the family life. So that's why I'm very glad in 2016 I came back to Sarawak, in Sarawak Energy, something which is a bit different, but very exciting as well. So I was very excited of what I can bring to this company going forward.
So you mentioned family life there. Let's talk about work-life balance. What were some of your struggles being part of this industry?
So people always ask me, how do I manage work-life balance? So I said I practice work-life integration. So I integrate work and life in as seamless manner as possible. And of course, there are always struggles, but I think I managed to make it work. And that's how I've come to this point of my life that I'm quite happy with how things are going. Yeah.
So as you mentioned, it's an exciting time to be alive with all the energy transitions going on. So with the introduction of renewable energy resources, like for instance, hydrogen, how are you and your peers adapting to this new idea? But most importantly, how does it feel to play a crucial part in the country's pioneering movement towards a greener and cleaner future?
We are sitting on a very good place in Sarawak and in Sarawak Energy. We have a lot of resources, natural resources, and I think the strategic shift by Sarawak to develop our hydropower potential in the 1980s actually has helped us to transition from in our generation mix from 92% hydrocarbon fuel to 70% renewable hydropower in 2014. And that's a very big achievement, and we have decarbonized our the carbon intensity in our grid by 72% from 2009 to about 2020. So we in Sarawak Energy, we are very motivated. We are very proud that we are spearheading the sustainability and energy transition, for the state and for Malaysia as well, and also helping the region to decarbonize as well.
So far, what are some of your proudest moments and contributions to the industry?
The centenary celebration of Sarawak Energy was a very proud moment for me. I feel truly honored and privileged to be leading the company at this at this key milestone. Not many company or people can celebrate their centenary, and so we should actually look at this and be very proud of what we've achieved over the last 100 years. And if you look at where we have been, as a company, from our humble beginning in 1921, the last 100 years have brought a lot of tremendous progress as far as this company is concerned. We have transitioned from a traditional utility to a modern and agile organization, operating more like a very efficient and professionally run company in the private sector. And when I came in 2016, we look at how we can move this company even further forward, because we have a very good history. We have built a lot of value in the company. So the challenge for us is, how do we maintain that momentum? How do we ensure that we are able to have that capability and capacity to even grow the company even further? So when I came in, I introduced this Sarawak Energy Excellence Roadmap and key focus areas, basically to focus the organization towards excellence. And over the last 6 years, we have seen the result, and it has been tremendous success to Sarawak Energy.
We're not even done yet, but I just want to say thank you so much for all your contributions to the state. On top of all the things that you've achieved and accomplished and contributed to the energy industry, how do you ground yourself? What grounds you to stay humble and also true to yourself?
Yeah, thank you for that question. As I mentioned to you earlier on, I'm a pretty relaxed person, and I think you need to if you are in the job that I've been over the last many years. Yeah. And there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of problems that you need to manage. So you just need to make sure that you are able to see through all the problems, what are the root causes, what are the issues behind it, to come to a solution. Yeah? And of course, you need to surround yourself with good people, and you need to make sure that the organization have a shared vision that everybody will work towards, yeah? And that you put in place robust strategies and plans, and so that even if you're not around, people are always making the right decision towards moving the company to the vision that you have set for yourself.
Yeah, it's important to work with a team of like-minded people. What are some of your fondest memories of working here and being part of the team?
No, I think that the people has been great, and when I came in, I introduced this concept of teh tarik session and turun padang. So I go to all the various locations, and I meet people from various levels of the organization. Actually, I especially like to meet those in the lower part of the organization without their bosses in the room. And what I had a fond memory of one of the operators who said, Dato' said, this is the first time in my career of 40 years that I meet and talk to the CEO. And to me, that is it's a very proud moment for me to be able to do that. To make him happy, and to be able to talk to the CEO and ask me questions directly, And that's why it's important you don't get supervisors in the room, because normally they are all waiting for the supervisors, and they're concerned what they're saying may impact them. But if you take the supervisors out, then they start to tell you a lot of things. And one thing I've learned of in many years as in management is that you need to talk to the people at the working level. And because if you just rely on your direct reports, they normally only give you good reports.
Yeah.
they will, what they call...
sugarcoat the story.
Yeah, sugarcoat, and they will not tell you what the real issues are. And the people down there are the ones who actually are facing the problem, and they're the one that you need to help. Yeah? So I would like to go down to the working level and talk to them what the problems are, and so that I know that my direct reports are not hiding anything from me. Yeah.
Are there any drastic changes ever since then that are worth mentioning in regards to access to power supply?
I think for Sarawak, we have done tremendously well in terms of trying to electrify the whole state. Yeah? So, in 2009, rural electrification stand at about 56%. Yeah, and at the end of December last year, it was 97.9%, so almost 98%. So the whole state, actually, by end of last year, the total coverage is about 99.2%. So, which is so we have about maybe 8,000 to 10,000 households left to electrify before we reach almost the full electrification. So it has been a tremendous actually achievement, and people in the rural areas, even those who are not able to be connected by wire, yeah? We provide them with solar power or hybrid, yeah? So they're able to enjoy 24 hours, 7 days a week electricity supply, as opposed to in the past where they have to use diesel genset, where you can only have energy at night, and it's very noisy and very expensive. So I think there has been tremendous progress over the last 5-6 years. Yeah.
So our last question for today: what's your hopes and aspirations for Malaysia, where power and energy is concerned?
I think for Sarawak first, I think Sarawak has the potential to be the battery of ASEAN, to basically through the electrification of Borneo, through the Borneo grid and the wider ASEAN grid. And if you look at the success of our first interconnection to West Kalimantan in 2016, that laid the foundation for us to explore other potential bilateral interconnection projects. So we have now signed a PA power exchange agreement with Sabah. So we will be exporting 30 to 50 megawatts starting 2024. We are exploring power export potential to Singapore and to Brunei. And I think that is the beginning of the ASEAN, the Borneo and ASEAN grid. And my vision actually for Southeast Asia is similar to Europe, where all the countries are interconnected through a transmission line. You can share your your reserves between each country, so you don't have to plan up too many power generation. And if you have problem in one country, the other country can help you. And on top of that, because our power generation is mainly renewable, so we're now looking at increasing our hydropower through the Balai project, and we are putting floating solar on Batang Ai Reservoir, and hopefully on other reservoirs as well. And so we not only help the energy transition in Sarawak, but also our neighboring countries as well. And on top of that, Sarawak Energy is as well, through our partner in a joint venture company, is working on a proposed hydropower project in North Kalimantan, Matarang, Indo, which is 1,375 megawatts. So if that project come to reality, that would be our first project overseas. So actually we are expanding our footprint outside of Sarawak. And that will truly be a big achievement and a key milestone in our journey towards becoming the regional powerhouse of Southeast Asia. So the future is very bright for Sarawak and for our young people in this company. I'm glad that I can contribute to that success. Yeah.
With everything that you've mentioned, it's almost visually clear that Sarawak is going to be like a heartbeat for all power generation throughout Southeast Asia. I'm just beyond impressed by everything that you've shared today. Thank you so much, Dato', for your time and for sharing with us today. It's been nothing short of a pleasure talking to you today.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
As we conclude our journey through Sarawak's energy ecosystem, we're reminded of the profound impact it has on the people. Our team braved the heights to discover the role of the metering station in the oil and gas industry. On energy consumption, we glimpsed into Mukah's cottage industry and had Diana Rose fill us in on the growing batik linut that captures the culture, creativity, and economy of the Melanau community. State of Energy will continue to present thrilling adventures on the energy ecosystem of the state throughout the entire series. In the next episode, powering great nations with our resources. Stay tuned as we uncover more stories, explore new landscapes, and delve deeper into the fascinating world of energy in Sarawak.